So most of the time our centre-backs will kind of split here, which drags both their strikers out. This allows, when the ball to be played into our pivot here, he has the whole space up here without pressure from the strikers being there, because obviously they're drawn to the centre-backs. But at times we would also play the ball out to the wide centre-backs to create an overload down the wing, so we can easily build past them and then carry on down the line. Most of the time when we're trying to build up from obviously the goalkeeper, our winger out here would come inside to the middle to kind of occupy their centre mid to stay on him and make sure he can't go and press our centre mid. Our fullback would obviously cover the space so that it occupies their fullback, and our other pivot in the 4-4-2 would push up alongside this winger to kind of become two cams and obviously pin this guy down. So now when the ball comes into our pivot, it's a one-on-one with their presser, and most of the time our pivot had the beating of this guy, so we just go past him and then we could build from there. Something that we did really well in the transition was getting our centre mids to make runs from deep in between the space between their left centre back and their left back, because obviously their left back's occupied by our winger, and their left centre back is occupied by our striker. So our midfielder have space to run in between them to receive the long ball over the top and then hopefully play a crossing or play back and recycle the ball. Another thing we looked to do all across the pitch is create one-on-ones, and this is shown in our first goal when the ball comes into the box. Obviously it's slotted in at the back post by our winger, but in this here you see that every single one of our players, so we have 3 players in the box at the time, and they have obviously 3 centre backs trying to defend it, but every single one of our players is kind of like stuck to one of their players and is not marking them, but is by them trying to cause them a problem. So say he was stood outside the box and the ball came in, obviously they had an extra player, so it would be easier for them to regain their heads and clear the ball. But as he was getting pressured by our player, when the ball comes in they don't have much time to deal with the ball, so they have to make a quick decision, which kind of allows them to mess up as they did in the first goal. And the MK Dons mainly looked to build up in a back 4, which would mean as our pressing trigger, if this left centre back got the ball, our striker, which is mainly Naki Wells, would make a curved run over here, so it blocks off this passing lane and forces the ball to go out here or here, with our second striker, who's normally be up here, dropping in on their kind of pivot, and then obviously our 2 centre mids cover their 2 centre mids, with our wide men covering their wide men. And the fact that he makes a curved run and blocks off this passing lane means that we condense the space into mainly over here, so then it's easier for us. We have, as you see, we have the numerical advantage being 5v4, so it's easier for us to regain the ball in this compact space here. There was one point in the match where it showed how versatile Thomas Callas was. When they were on the break up here and our midfielder obviously dropped into to defence to help cope with their fullback pushing up. Callis would step up to try to get the ball off their striker here, which just shows how comfortably he is stepping up. And I think it's a good sign of things to come this season from Callis. One thing that is bad when we were pressing is that because we only had 2 centre mids, so obviously if we had a third centre mid, they'd probably drop in there, allowing the other 2 to press more convincingly. But the fact that we only had 2 means that if both of them step up to press their centre mids and they get the ball like past this line of press, then obviously they're going to have so much space in this in between the lines, because obviously they have now 2 strikers and 1 attacker, so it's basically 3v4, which is their advantage because they're on the front foot, they're driving towards us, so we kind of need to stop that. But I think playing a holding midfielder to cover this line in between the line here.